Welcome back. The Tran wins Baldur's Gate 3. If I had planned out the entire career of this playlist, we would have done this upcoming quest. It's not a quest, area, before the Elf Song Tavern. But we have another party member storyline here. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Stand on your liver!
It is stand and deliver, little fig. Though I think I like yours better. You bellow like a true berserker.
The commander said I only had to keep out bad ones, so you can pass.
Thank you, noble sentinel.
I'm not a centipede. I'm a guard.
Breaking news, hear all about it. The mouth said it first.
If you hear about the vines, I've cleared them off the neighboring houses already. Can't promise it'll be the last time. The druid's away for a while. I'm just her son, and apprentice too, for my sins.
Haha! Jaheira has left you with some tasks while she was away, Jord.
Minsk? She's not away. She's gone. I'm sorry.
And I am confused. She is not with us at this very moment, no. But she's around the city somewhere.
What? You know where my mum is? Tell Ryan, quickly! Tell Ryan about Mother, quickly!
Quickly?
Make a habit of just letting yourself into people's homes, do you? My mother's not here, if that's who you've come to see.
Ryan, we know your mother is not here. She is traveling with us.
Minsk? I don't understand. She was chasing down the cult for a lead to save you. If she's already done it.
Ah, well, if Boo were to be technical, he would say that it is not Jaheira alone who saved Minsk. It was this one here.
She's alive. Who are you to her? A harper?
Allies. We fought General Ketherick Thorn together.
General. We'd heard of the cult army heading this way. I assumed she died trying to stop it. But she's alive. Everyone! She's alive! Bring her here so we can kill her. Bring Jaheira home. We're in dire need of a mother-daughter chat.
She's home.
She'll be at home with her loved ones.
Oi! Stop a moment. Commander, you're in trouble!
Breaking news, hear all about it. The mouth said it first. New hero.
Everyone, she's back! She'll be here any second. Maybe she's sneaking.
Doubtful. We'd hear her knees cracking. Enough, Fig. There's no point getting your hopes up. She'll be back when she's back.
You don't think she will?
I know she will. But we'll wait a little longer, if you like.
I saw her, I swear!
Are you sure? Maybe it was just a labourer hauling a shaggy grey mop.
Be serious, Ryan. Who puts braids on a mop?
Coming in, Jaheira.
Well, I
very glad they got better.
Oh, Maller's Mark, here we go.
Are we quite sure she hasn't actually died this time, brother? She looks dead.
Smells it too. Ooh.
It has been a hard road. But I can clip you both around the ear to prove I am no ghost. If it would help.
Forgive us, Mother. We're just surprised you still know how to find your way home.
Cast a glance at Minsk.
Some battles, even Boo is not brave enough to fight.
Ryan.
A sending spell can carry 25 words. Do you know how many Jaheira's only message contained in all this time she's been away? 7.
Met gorgeous hero. Out in Shadowlands. Is Shadowland one word or two?
If you are trying to help me, please stop.
The message went, I'm sorry, you know what to do.
So why haven't you done it? You were supposed to get the young ones out of the city.
And you were supposed to be dead. That's what your oh-so-stoic message meant, yes? Yet here you are. So, what happened out there?
I got my skin saved by this one. We've come to take the fight to the cult, which is exactly why you all cannot be here.
Why? You plan on winning, don't you? You're the one who saved us, so tell me. Are we all doomed?
We're all going to die.
Fine. Better in our home than quivering in some bush out in the Cloakwood.
You are a very irritating girl.
This isn't your house, remember? You'll keep a civil tongue under our roof if we let you stay at all.
Have mercy, sister. She's old after all.
So old. She can stay, but only if she brought home presents.
Seems I'm outvoted. See, Mother? That is how you go about talking things through with your family. Now, if there's more to discuss, then bloody well come in. And wipe your boots.
I like that girl. Rion.
No arguing. Just tell me you're well.
I am well.
And Minsk?
Boo is also very well, and happy to see you, Ryan.
And I him. Enough that I'll let him keep his lumbering, sweaty steed inside. So, this cult. What's our plan?
I'm not fool enough to think I can change your mind. But if you're staying, I don't want you taking up arms. There are other ways to fight.
Really? Like what?
There are refugees outside the walls. They'll need protection.
You shame me. In all our hunting, I had put them from my mind.
Right. Leave them to us then. If we can't get them past the checkpoints, we'll at least make sure they're watched over if it comes to fighting in the streets. If I have to stay home and babysit, then it's your job to make sure there's still a home to look after. Take what you need, and we'll do the grand reunion when you come back for good. So, lovely as it is to have you back, Mother, go away. You have work to do.
Aye, aye, Commander. Wait, one more thing. There are doppelgangers on our trail. One even went so far as to steal my face.
Huh. All right then. If you turn up looking for hugs and kisses, I'll be sure to shoot first.
That's my girl.
I want to see an adventure with her as a teammate.
Written in code.
But that's not going to happen.
Thank you for looking out for her. Now bring her back alive. She's too old for any heroic death nonsense.
I take no responsibility for your plants. You know I'm more of a mushroom man.
You've let my study turn into a thicket. Is this what I am hearing?
I tended to it. I just let it thrive in its own independence. You know, same way you raised us.
I raised you to be a sweet and kind boy. What happened?
I watched what you did instead of listening to what you said. This house has taken in a lot of children over the years. Mother dear was sometimes more commander than, well, mother dear.
Absolutely no comment.
Ha! You see? This one is well trained. I have no need for you anymore, faithless boy.
Oh, save your fangs for someone who thinks you might actually use them. I've only ever seen her truly angry once. We were down the market when I was about 9 years old. Some merchant started in with the usual. Yes, but where's your family? Whose son are you, really? When Mother was done with him, well, let's say he won't have any sons of his own to worry about.
Nature's law in action.
I'm not really sure what that meant, but let's get back to that in a second. Let's talk to Jord one more time.
I'll tend the sanctuary till the real druid is ready to return. Make sure that happens, eh? I'm still just an apprentice.
Alright, so whose son are you really? And then she, what, kicked him in the family jewels so he can't have children? Is that what went on? That seems quite the escalation. People used to ask me where I'm from all the time, and when I was a kid, I didn't know what they meant. I said, I was born here, in America. And then people said, no, where are you really from? It's like, I'm really from here. It's like, no, where are your parents from? And I would tell them, oh, from Vietnam, I guess. And it was always a confusing question for me. And then eventually I just shortchanged it to, I'm from Vietnam, but then now when I say that, people think I was born over there. I wasn't. So I can't win either way. Nowadays, I just summarize my response to, I'm Vietnamese, but I was born here. I can't imagine myself ever kicking someone in the nuts just because they asked me that, but maybe I don't completely understand the context of this family dynamic. Here we have battle plan. The yellow menu outlining stuffy combat forms. Big has added her own embellishments, looping colorful drawings of her family members. One last entry stands out, an angry face in a perfect circle shouting, "Go for the eyes!" Well, it's good to know that Minsk is passing his knowledge on.
A fine day to you, sir. Are you known to this court?
One of such evident breeding as I, of House Fluffington, needs no formal announcement.
Sir Fluffington, an honor to host you in my manor.
Jessamine discovered an old family tree in my study. We haven't had a moment's peace since.
Tetherian nobility. You might be royalty, Jaheira. You don't want to be queen, of course, and Ryon curses too much, so it would have to be me.
Careful, girl. They have a habit of taking against tyrants there.
I'm not a tyrant. If anyone calls me one, I'll have Fig chop their head off. Serve Jaheira well now, sir, and I'll consider granting you a title in my kingdom.
I'd like Felices. Bad soil?
I left.
Don't tell Mother.
It was just...
Commander!
Spare me your salutes, little traitor. You walked me right into that ambush.
Sorry, Commander. You are my commander, but George promised me pies.
I can't fault your priorities. You'll look after them for me?
Can I have a real sword?
No.
Fine.
Don't tell Jaheira.
Am I supposed to pretend that sword you're swinging wasn't stolen from my room?
All about it.
Wrong. It's completely different.
Funny, because it looks just like the one I stole from Mum when I was your age.
I gave her a longsword. She'll grow into it. If the game allows halflings to use longswords, I see no reason why kids couldn't. Assuming, of course, they have the strength to possess it or hold it. Over here we'll find a book of the Forgotten Forest. The theme itself is not as important as who the protagonist is. A dark children's picture book featuring a host of animal friends helping one another survive a forbidding forest. At just the moments where it seems the villains have the advantage, a childish hand has drawn a cranky old elven woman, beating them about the head with a stick.
I hope you were hibernating, little cub. I can't think of another reason you wouldn't come down to say hello.
Jaheira! I didn't want to see if you were really dead. They said...
Who said?
Jord and Ryan. They didn't think I could hear.
You little sneak thief? Well, they were wrong. Look! Not dead. I just... had a few adventures. Like,
Bloodshed, more of the same.
Ignore my friend. He hit his head very, very hard. He is in danger of it happening again.
One of the perils of traveling with Jaheira.
Now, cub, solitude is a wonderful thing, but not too much. Come downstairs and fight with your sisters.
Wait, here. I was keeping this safe.
My Harper pin. Oh, was a certain little sneak thief playing down in my sanctuary?
No.
Harper pin opens more doors than most. Come down to my study and see if you can figure it out.
Got turned around, looking for the stairs down here, but then I didn't want to pan too far because it would cut Jaheira's voice off, apparently. Right, so her study is right over here. And once we descend, we'll chat with our teammates about Jaheira. You take the pen and you put it in this slot, but first we'll glance at these scrolls. If you wish to read it, we'll let you pause.
What's that?
I wonder what that could be, Jaheira. I don't know.
Don't tell Mother.
Final warning.
One must be prepared at all.
Flipping Baldur's mouth. What I don't get is why nobody thought that, that statue must be Mintz, because he disappeared, and the statue of Mintz just suddenly appeared. I wonder what that could be about. And final note. Harbor pin inside. Let's go ahead and see what everyone has to say about Jaheira's family.
Jaheira would do anything to see her family safe. They're lucky to have her, and she's lucky to have them.
Jaheira's family is a credit to her. She's wise to keep them secret. Safe. I was never afforded a chance to start a family of my own. Serving nature always had to come first.
Jaheira's adept at keeping secrets, and for good reason. She was wise to try and keep her family safe. I just wish I could have done the same.
What's on your mind?
So, what do you think of your hero Jaheira's house?
I don't know what I was expecting. Something beyond real. My life would have been so different if I ended up working for her instead of Gortash. Looking after these kids. Making a difference. Maybe in the next life.
Githyanki. The word means quite literally Gith's children. But I have never known family the way Jaheira knows it. My so-called cousins are simply spawn hatched from the same clutch. I will never know who laid the egg I hatched from. And until I met Jaheira's family, I never thought to wonder. Well, enough brooding. What did you need?
A natural impulse to try and shield one's loved ones from danger, especially when you feel a moral compunction to run headfirst towards it. I suspect any child of Jaheira's will share her self-destructive sense of justice. But at least her words give them pause for thought.
You know, I never dreamed our noble Jaheira would be such a terrible, terrible mother. It's nice to see heroes are as awful as the rest of us,
Tell me, now that you have met Jaheira's children, it is not unpleasant to see her on the rough side of someone's tongue,
No, Boo, you will not tell her. Minsk said nothing.
We will not speak of this again.
It is sad to see how Jaheira has neglected her family. They should be prepared for the battle that is coming, or they may not survive it.
Distancing them from the conflict is a good way to ensure they live long lives.
If any child of mine spoke of me as disrespectfully as Jaheira's offspring speak of her, their lives would be exceedingly short.
She spent her life in conflict. It is natural she wants to protect them from that.
Life is conflict. Coddling children and denying them that truth only makes them weak.
You're right. They should be ready to fight.
My mother taught me to talk, to walk, and then to kill. I still hope to thank her by teaching her how to die one day. All things considered, my relationship with her may not be the best model to follow.
The cub speaks.
Why didn't you tell me about your family?
I have given you much reason to think that Harpers hoard secrets like precious stones, but I promise you, this was not some intrigue. Just, plain and simple foolishness. As if by keeping clear of my family, I might keep them clear of the cult in turn. And if this fight were to go against us, well, they had already done their mourning. Why visit it on them twice?
Do you have so little faith in our chances of victory?
No, quite the opposite, in fact. I hope to greet my family when all the fighting was done.
You're right. That is extremely foolish.
Careful now. Only I get to say it. And my daughter, apparently.
Admit it. You were just afraid of Ryle.
Of course I was. You met her, did you not? The girl had opinions before she had teeth. I was wrong to think I could keep my children from this fight. They're Baldurian born and bred. The only damned reason I root myself in this place. This city is a cesspit. An open sewer of the soul that taints us with its filth and churns us out when all that is good has been stripped away. It also happens to be their home. And so it is mine. Ugh. That might be the first time I have said that out loud. Now come. We had best get to saving it. Lest Ryan turn her ire on us both. Pay no mind to those. You're probably safe so long as I am here. But if you do not trust me, take the weight from the pressure plate there.
If you disarm it, these could get stuck in place as glyphs of code, fire, and so forth. All you have to do to disarm it, besides moving the plate or having Jaheira with you, is hit these with the appropriate elemental spell. Code, fire...
Have no fear. The traps aren't meant for you. But, better to stick close, eh?
lightning, and poison.
The only patch of wilderness this city permits me. There ought to be supplies here to aid us.
You know this place, Boo. Minsk has never been invited.
There are no supplies here. Not in any appreciable amount. I'm trying to select this rat, but it's not easy to click on him.
Down by the Blushing Mermaid, there's a stink of something fey. Smell of arse, too. But Boss doesn't care about that. Boss says this work makes us honorary harlots. Harpies? Oh, sounds nice. I bring word of gnomes. Gnomes in the sea. Mer gnomes.
There's been killings in a holy place. Stinks of incense and blood. I did not nibble at the body, no matter how much I wanted to.
The Archdruid's eyes and ears have fallen away in her absence. I am training new ones. If you are not meant to be here, the Archdruid's traps will see to you. If you have business, be about it. If you do not, poke around and see what happens.
Nature's servant awaits.
Archdruid, it's good to have you home. The new informants are coming along.
And inside, we'll find all this marvelous stack of supplies she has squirreled away, being the Harper Guildmaster or whatnot. In the barrel, 4 total camp supplies.
Trap. Let us try not to trip headlong through it, yes?
Thanks. In the chest hidden on top, okay, 3 reagents and a little pile of gold. Inside a wardrobe, clothing. In the chest, nothing.
A nasty surprise. Caution is warranted here.
Have a little bit of ale and a gem, a little bit more gold, a scroll of disintegrate. Okay, that one wasn't so bad, the disintegrate scroll. Over here we can find some books on the Ballspawn. Unfortunately, it's one of those, it's a summary style books. A popular novel, thin and cheaply made, dramatizing the events of the Ballspawn crisis. Jaheira appears to have added her own annotations, variously amused and outraged at the more egregious flights of fancy. I am telling you right now that if this were a game from the 90s, it would have the text, and then maybe it would like have little penmanship on the side. One of the episodes I did was Minds of Titan. There was a book just like that, and then it would have scribbling from people who did not like the cyberpunk style corporation going on. It's like, oh, this is a lie or whatnot. I think Wasteland might have also had something like that. Ballspawn Saga Part 2, a popular novel that and cheaply made, dramatizing the adventures of the Ballspawn and Athkatla after the defeat of Saravok and Chovy. Early chapters have been defaced and some even thrown out. Let's see, did we loot this chest? I think we did. Starian, if you would please disarm that. So far we found about 100 gold, a gem or 2, and a scroll of disintegrate. Here's a key.
Keen eye. But if it's supplies you seek, weapons to aid in our fight, you won't find them behind that door. There is nothing back there of worth to anyone but me.
I also hide all my worthless things behind secret doors.
It should be no surprise to you that Harpers like to hold their secrets close. Whether there is sense in it or not.
Just like an old dragon to hoard the best of her stash.
Not a wild shape I have mastered. Just yet. On my word, all you will find inside is dust. And the moldering keepsakes of a much younger woman.
Jaheira, our friend has put their trust in us. Boo thinks it is only right to return the gesture, no?
You so rarely make a habit of being right, Ranger, that it puts me ill at ease when you are. Pass then. Go on. See what it is a foolish old Harper thinks worth hiding away.
Inside the first chest, nothing. Inside the second chest, I don't know why Jaheira started the campaign with I think it was like a scimitar +1 and a regular scimitar. When she has Belm, which is a +2 scimitar with perfectly balanced strike as a weapon action, we'd ignore the acid, necrotic damage, and +10 piercing. Perfectly balanced strike looks like it's just Dueler's Enthusiasm, a bonus action once per turn to do damage. Alright. Then we have the basic attacks except for Whirlwind Attack, making separate attack rolls against each target once per short rest. Cool. Additionally, we have Staff of the Realm, or Ram, not Realm. Once per turn, the blow possibly knocks a foe back 2 meters and stuns them. This has no effect on dragons or huge creatures. Alright, I mean, I don't know why you have to say dragons or huge creatures. I'm assuming dragons are huge creatures. But okay.
Aha! Jaheira's old weapons! They look strong as ever. Minsk should know. They gave him many bruises over the years.
Inside we find Khalid's gift. While wearing Khalid's gift, Jaheira cannot be cursed. Also a level 3 aid spell. And +1 wisdom.
A gift from my husband. I've had to renew parts over the years, but the heart remains the same as the day he gave it to me.
Actually, we'll go back and find the note. I'm not sure where we missed it. Maybe it was in this room. There's a note explaining that gift.
If not over, then through.
Rite of the Timeless Body. A confused spread of cryptic symbols cobbled together by the same hand seemingly over years. Neat notations impose order on the chaotic sketches, describing some manner of druid ritual. Its purpose unclear, and its practice incomplete.
Rite of the Timeless Body. An old druid ritual. I'd best ask Jaheira about it.
We'll go ahead and ask her in a second. Unfortunately, you can't ask Halson about it. Is it in this desk, maybe? Yeah, it is. My dearest wife. Since you've forbidden the writing of poems, I had to get creative this year. I tracked down a retired Cormyrian war wizard with a magical method of transferring mental imagery to parchment. The art is imperfect, and perhaps better suited to espionage than name-day gifts. With all my love, and from a safe distance, Khalid. Beneath the note, a small inked picture of a smiling couple. Their mouths gape far too widely, the joints twisting ever so slightly, but, beneath distorted brows, you can just about make out a much younger Jaheira and a bearded man wearing a Harper pin. Don't give this to Gale. Alright, let's go and ask Jaheira about the Timeless Rite.
The cub speaks.
I found a strange scroll in your sanctuary. Something about a timeless body.
The threat of spanking never kept the children from poking through my things. Why should it deter you? It is a ritual, or it describes one at least, practiced by druids of certain esoteric circles. If they be learned and powerful enough, the practitioner of this ritual might slow their aging, extend their life well beyond its natural reach. In greener days, I might have been strong enough to do it. I might be yet, with the right preparations.
And anyone can use this scroll?
Any druid. So, yes, you might aspire to it if you wished, but the scroll is not the ritual itself. Only part of my research into how it is worked. Do not look at me like that. I have been content to see the span of my natural years. A privilege far too few in this world can claim. I do not speak of clinging to life for its own sake, I just look back on that life's work and I wonder, is it done? The dead tree plague the world still. The city still falls prey to small minds like Gortash or lost souls like Orin. It is every Harper's hope to be a light that drives out darkness. But I've lived long enough to see so many of those lights burn out, while the shadows cling stubbornly on. Knowing that, isn't it our duty to burn on if we can? To fight for as long as we are able?
Your duty, perhaps. Mine was quite the opposite. Every breath I take, however gratefully, is proof of my dereliction.
Or proof that you plan to fight on, rather than take the easier path.
You have more in common with my people than you'd think. On the astral plane, our finest knights can live for millennia, and they devote every thought to vanquishing Geich.
Or pleasing their own undying queen, who lives on to serve... what purpose, exactly?
Minsk does not understand the question. You will live forever, Jaheira.
Of course I will, Berserker. And you will sprout soft and golden locks from that shining skull.
I'd cling to life forever if it means I could keep Baldur's Gate safe. But time marches me to a different fate.
And if it does? That does not mean you cannot dig your heels in a little.
Immortality is only as good as the life you're living. An eternity of luxury sounds a lot better than an eternity of struggle.
I'd have thought time would dull either. But I suppose I should know better than to argue with an immortal.
I wallowed in darkness for too long. If I could extend the time I have left in the light, I think I'd take it.
Perhaps. But if the darkness is really going to swallow everything as you Sharan say, it should at least have to work for its supper.
To wish to live is natural. But so too is to let go when the moment arrives.
You see, I should know better than to philosophize in the company of an archdruid.
To accept death is to surrender.
And to fight it is to doom yourself to defeat.
You're preaching to the doomed choir, ma'am.
You've done more than your share of fighting already, Karlach. If there's one person I would trust to make the most of a longer life, it's you.
It is only natural to want more life.
Of course. It is our way. Just as it is death's way to meet us along the path, gently oblivious to whatever it is we want. I spent most of my life fighting those who tried to escape their end. Ketheric, Irenicus, Sarevok. That is not company I would like to keep. In truth, I had put this ritual from my mind. Until last light. Trapped in that darkness. I turned to my research again. What if I was a little stronger? As fast as I once had been. Then you came. And made the question moot. But I kept this. Just in case, I told myself. A final resort. Perhaps you were not the savior you seemed. I had learned better than to think of life as some simple tale after all. There is no guarantee of happy endings, or true heroes. I believe that still. But when I look on all that we have achieved since, I wonder perhaps it is not heroes we need. Only people who are willing to try. I do not know what manner of story that makes. But I do know that without an ending, it would be no story at all. So I will accept mine, when and however it comes. As for this city story, well, that is entirely your problem now, Cub.
Enough of this cub stuff. My people live longer than yours, half-elf.
And age better, too. She who is most weathered is also most wise. But I do not plan on going anywhere just yet. And besides, you still have a tadpole in your skull. You are almost certainly going to die first.
A hero of legend. Passing the figurative torch onto us. We'd best not disappoint her. The thought of a scolding from Jaheira's ghost is not one I particularly relish.
Who among us hasn't wondered what it would be like to live forever? But I think you've got the right idea. Better I live fully and meaningfully than to pine for an always and forever I could never achieve.
I would live forever if I could. Death is not rest or relief. It is only ever a form of defeat. In destroying the scroll, Jaheira has shown her readiness to give up the fight. We must not follow her example.
Jaheira has steel in her, I'll say that. It's not easy to walk away from immortality. Most people will have held on to that scroll for as long as they could bear to, and probably a century or two longer than that.
Jaheira's wisdom is plain to see. One of the greatest ways in which you can serve nature is to surrender your body back to it when the time comes. It may be some centuries before my flesh is ready to yield, but I hope I shall be bold enough to follow in her path when the day comes.
Just when I think I can't respect Jaheira anymore, she hits me with a grenade right to the heart. I couldn't agree with her more. There's more to life than time. It isn't about how long you're here. It's about what you do with whatever time you've got. And Jaheira? Well, I don't think anyone spent their hours better than her.
Should I ever take to the astral plane, I'll have no need of scrolls to secure my immortality. Still, it is becoming of a mortal to accept their fate, as Jaheira does. Not everyone is meant to live longer than the stars.
Jaheira littering the streets in broad daylight. I swear, sometimes it is as if she does not care for this city at all.
Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, the best loot is obviously the sentimental items that she thought was worthless to us. The supplies, a scroll of disintegrate, which might be randomized, about 100 gold, and a gem. Let's get on out of here. Right, there's one other thing we forgot to hit while we're up here. Ryan had mentioned that the sending was something like, "I'm sorry, you know what to do." Well, Ryan's reply would have been this. A short note marked up as a professional sending, a magical message of up to 25 words intended to find the recipient wherever they might be. This copy was never given over to a cleric for delivery. No, I don't know what to do, so come back and tell me or I'll come find you. Death will not protect you, idiot.
That reminds me, I'm working on our family tree. I've already placed Ryan. You're next.
Well, I'm afraid you won't find us dangling from any of the same branches, Sproutling.
So we'll graft on another. A druid should know how to do that, shouldn't he?
I suppose he should, at that.
That was full of dialogue and backstory. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching Tran Wins Baldur's Gate 3. I'll see you next time, where we investigate the building across from us, the Society of Brilliance.